right now.
One more day in the East Bay as the Orioles look to close a winning road trip with a series sweep opportunity here in Oakland. The Orioles and the Athletics in game 124 of 162. Down the stretch we come. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald, and a good afternoon to you from Oakland, California, where the Orioles won big on Friday night. And they won by, well, the same margin last night, a 5-run margin. It didn't feel big because the game went to extra innings. Once again, though, the O's find a way in a close game.
Yeah, 2-2 going to the 10th inning, and it was a close game. It really was a pitcher's duel up to that point. Both bullpens have been done well, and the starters well. And boy, Adam Frazier started the 10th inning at second base with nobody out, and you get a wild pitch. He moves over to third base. Rutschman would walk, and then Mounty just shoves a fastball right back up the middle. That was the first one as Frazier came home. Gunnar Henderson gets nicked by a pitch right in the midsection, so bases loaded. Westy on a 2-strike count pushes the sacrifice fly deep enough. Rutschman would score. Mountcastle would end up over at third base as he advanced 2 on that fly ball. And then Austin Hayes just a chopper right up the middle, and Mountcastle enough speed to beat it home. And then the big blow right at the end. James McCann, a monster day for him, including a home run. That was a 2 RBI single, and the Orioles would score 5 runs in the 10th inning.
The Orioles' third extra inning win of this road trip. They've gone 5-3 on the trip. Took 2 of 3 as Seattle lost 2 of 3 from San Diego, and they've already clinched a series win in Oakland. They are 2.5 games up on the Rays, who are off today. So the Orioles can head home with a day off tomorrow, 3 games clear. And it's an Oakland team that has struggled offensively, but hit the Orioles pretty well. However, they haven't seen Kyle Bradish yet, and just about nobody has hit Kyle Bradish well this year.
Well, I tell you what, the month of April, a little bit of a struggle for Kyle Bradish. But since then, it's hard to argue he's not been one of the best pitchers in baseball. Matter of fact, you go back to his last 11 starts, Kevin, he's pitching to a 2.36 ERA. And more importantly than that, he is giving length. In those 11 starts, he is averaging 6 1/3 innings per video or per innings pitched on that. And he has been really good. His last time out against Seattle, another really good outing. 7 of his last 9 starts. How about this? 7 of his last 9 have been quality starts. They've always been about the breaking ball for Kyle Bradish. The breaking balls have always been good. But what's been the difference for me is the 2-seam fastball for him is really starting to play. He's using that 2-seam fastball 19% of the time now for a pitch that he just picked up just last year in the second half of the season. He's always been able to take 96 and right into the top of the zone, but he has been a totally different pitcher as of late. And for me, probably the best stuff on the team.
You were really excited about that Kyle Bradish video. We're always excited about Kyle Bradish videos.
Well, the way he's pitching right now, hard not to be excited.
2-seam versus the 4-seam quickly. Why has that made such a difference?
Because he loves his breaking balls. It's always been his best 2 pitches, and they always go right to left, right? Now he's got that 2-seam fastball that's going left to right. He's using the inside part of the plate to right-handers, so that's just opened up the outside part for the breaking balls.
See what he can do today. It's J.P. Sears for the Oakland A's. The Orioles looking to head home with a sweep and a 6-3 trip.
Unstoppable, whoa, ready, unstoppable, go, the trees, yeah, I'm unstoppable, you know I'm trained to go, attracted a lot of gold, this metal reflect my soul, yeah, I'm unstoppable, I know, every day I be paving my road, I put my life on the line, you know I'm ready to go, unstoppable.
Back to Oakland, California as the Orioles search for their 8th sweep of the season. The Orioles continuing their streak of not having been swept, which is now at 79 straight, and they will look to win all 3 from these Oakland A's. The Orioles 76-47, trying to get to 30 games over 500 for the first time this year. Once again, Anthony Santander is not in the lineup, still dealing with some back soreness, and Austin Hayes moves up to the cleanup spot after a home run yesterday. First start of the series for Ramon Urias. And Ryan McKenna's back in there after going 2 for 3 in his return to the major leagues last night.
And there is J.P. Sears making his 25th start of the year. 4.27 ERA, that's solid. A very good strikeout to walk ratio. Pitched once against the Orioles back in April, gave up 3 runs, 5 innings of work. And his last time out against the Cardinals on August the 14th, gave up 3 runs in 5 innings, struck out 6 and walked 4. 7 quality starts on the year out of 24 tries. And this is StatCast powered by Google Cloud. We'll take a look at J.P. Sears' pitch arsenal here in 2023. Heavy on the 4-seam fastball, right about 50% of the time. The sweeper, changeup, and slider His best two pitches, that sweeping slider, opponent's hitting 214 off of it, and the traditional slider, opponent's only hitting 161 off of that.
Sears 4 games, 3 starts, career against the Orioles. Got his first win against them in relief with the Yankees. Made his first start against them with the Yankees, 5 shutout this season, April the 10th. 5 innings, gave up just 3 hits to the O's, but 3 runs. Walked 1, struck out 4 home runs in that game from Adley Rutschman and Ryan Mountcastle, who are the top 2 hitters for Baltimore today. And here is Adley Rutschman, who will lead off for the Orioles once again. And the last time he faced J.P. Sears, he did this on April the 10th.
Yeah, J.P. Sears trying to get that fastball, and he will use it 50% of the time. Tried to get on the inside part, but Rutschman would have none of it. You're going to see a fastball, a sweeper, a changeup, and a slider. So a 4-pitch mix for J.P. Sears.
11th round pick of the Mariners 6 years ago. Second-year Oakland A against the second-year big leaguer Adley Rutschman. It is a spectacular sun-soaked Sunday from Northern California. And away we go in game number 124 of 162. First pitch today is at 1:08 Pacific time from J.P. Sears, a 94-mile-an-hour strike to Adley Rutschman. 78 degrees, our warmest temperature of any of the 3 games here in Oakland. What has been truly a spectacular road trip for the Orioles. Game time temperatures on this road trip have ranged anywhere from 68 to 82.
Hard to
games
beat.
in Seattle, San Diego, and Oakland.
And not much humidity either.
Not much at all. That I suspect will change for us shortly. The Orioles will head back home, have an off day tomorrow, start a 9-game homestand.
Yeah,
0-2 is high to Adley.
No place like home.
Not at all. Toronto, Colorado, and the Chicago White Sox waiting. Orioles hoping to wrap up this road trip at 6-3 with a sweep. There's Brandon Hyde, Northern California born and raised. Been a busy weekend for Brandon, who said, I'm coaching for free from a ticket standpoint. His parents who are in Santa Rosa are here. His sister, a whole lot of family and friends. Special series for Brandon, especially to have an off day, and it'll be even more special to get out of here with a series sweep. Another 1-2. And that's a slider in the dirt. First non-fastball we see from J.P. Sears.
J.P. Sears in his 2nd big league season, making his 36th career start, his 42nd career appearance. 202 innings worked for his career, 8-12 with a 4.13.
6 pitch leading off the game to Adley. And Rutschman, it's a ground ball right through the middle, a base hit. Out of the reach of a diving Nick Allen, Adley Rutschman is on with his 4th hit and his 7th time on base in this series.
And continues to barrel it up. I tell you, that one 106 off the bat. Finally got a pitch he can handle. Just a fastball down and hits it right back up the middle. So a good start for the Orioles here in the top of the 1st inning.
Good fight after falling behind 0-2. Leadoff man aboard for Ryan Mountcastle. Having the go-ahead eventual game-winning hit in the 10th last night. And that's the changeup. Down and in from J.P. Sears. Mountcastle 14 RBIs in his 6 games against Oakland this season. He's driven in a run in each of the first 2 games this series. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 RBIs. And Mountcastle torches this ball into left field in front of Tony Kemp. And the Orioles have hit 2 screamers to start against J.P. Sears.
2 balls right off the heart of the bat. J.P. Sears doesn't get hit very often. 132 thirds coming in, only 118 hits in that 130 2/3. He will give up some home runs. 26 home runs on the year.
And for Ryan Mountcastle, that's now a 26-game on base streak. He ties Jonathan Scope 6 years ago, the last Oriole to reach in 26 straight games. Didn't waste any time. Gunnar Henderson now swings through a slider. So 2 balls hit at 106 and 104. And Henderson, riding a 5-game hit streak, steps in.
There's been a lot of balls in this series hit hard by both teams.
Gunnar Henderson, 20 home runs, second most on the Orioles, one behind Anthony Santander. Slugging at .462 by adjusted OPS, on base plus slugging. He's been well above average, 17% better than the average hitter. He pops this one up. Carlos Perez does not have a play.
Well, here's the Oakland defense behind 27-year-old J.P. Sears. Tony Kemp in left, Lawrence Butler in center, Brent Rooker back out in right field. Your double play combination, Allen and Geloff. Jordan Diaz at third, Seth Brown gets to start at first, and Carlos Perez behind home plate for the Athletics.
And by defensive runs saved, they are by far the worst defense in the majors, minus 73 defensive runs saved, though they are better up the middle now with Allen and Geloff. 2 on, nobody out. Orioles rallying right out of the chute, and Henderson takes ball 2. These Orioles 7th in the majors at 4.9 runs per game, 18th in steals, 20th in walk rate, 16th in home runs, but they have been so good with runners in scoring position and runners on base.
Yeah, and after a couple of nice nights offensively, the batting average starting to creep up. Team batting average now at .252, so that's the 12th best mark in baseball.
Those are 9th in slugging percentage, in addition to that 12th best batting average. Sears part of this league worst Oakland pitching staff, 576 as a group. Another 2-2. Henderson pops it up. This is on the infield, and the infield fly rule is in effect. Geloff is there to secure it for the first out. So a couple of runners on for the red hot Austin Hayes, who homered into the foul pole last night.
Talk about wrapping it around. He didn't only wrap it around, he stuck it in the foul pole. How about that one? Don't see that every day. 2 home runs, 3 doubles his last 4 games. That slugging percentage up 18 points in the last 4 games. Big series here, going on 3 for 9 with a homer and a couple of RBIs.
He's such a difference maker in the first half for the Orioles. He was selected as an all-star reserve. He was named a starter after a couple of outfield injuries to Mike Trout and Aaron Judge. The second half not the same, but the last week has been very good. And Austin Hayes, who was sitting 5th yesterday, sitting 7th the day before that, finds himself back in the cleanup spot.
Well, he's starting to get it back up in the air again. You said it yesterday, and that's what Brandon Hyde said a few days ago. I like when Austin Hayes is hitting the ball in the air. That's what he did a lot the first half of the season. Then he kind of got in a little bit of a funk where lots of ground balls, but as of late, starting to get some air under it again.
Right now he's got a 3-0 count. Hayes with 29 doubles, tied for the team lead, a dozen homers. Well above average offensive year. And Austin takes a 4-pitch walk from J.P. Sears. So 3 of the first 4 Orioles have reached. And that will quickly draw Scott Emerson, the Oakland pitching coach, to the mound. Well, the Orioles have enjoyed feasting on Oakland pitching this year. Worst pitching staff in the league, as we mentioned, and the Orioles offense has been a part of that. 7.5 runs per game in the season series so far. 4 extra base hits per game. You can see the rate statistics there. Took a while last night, but the Orioles got 5 in the 10th, and they've scored 16 runs in the first 2 games of the series.
Love how the Orioles won last night. You know, it was good defense as usual. Cole Irvin was outstanding, 5 innings of work for him. But the Orioles showed you they can beat you different ways. It was about the long ball in a 2-2 game going to 10th. The Orioles had a couple of solo home runs, but then after that, got some bunts down, sacrificed flies, played a little bit of small ball.
And the base is loaded for Ramon Urias with only 1 out. These are the moments where the Orioles have delivered this season. Urias having a great year with runners in scoring position. 319, 863 OPS. And Ramon takes strike 1. It's not just been Urias, it's been the Orioles. 61% of the time they've scored a runner from third with less than 2 outs with an RBI. That is the best mark in all of Major League Baseball.
That's one of my favorite stats too, because a lot of people overlook that stat. But when you don't need a base hit to score a run, it is big to be able to get that run home. The Orioles right at the top of the list. Big league average on that per team, about 53%. The Orioles #1 at 61%. And of course, hitting with runners in scoring position, it's been a giant turnaround, as most of you know. Orioles are 4th best in baseball right now. Last year, they were 25th out of 30 teams hitting with runners in scoring position.
A 2-1 for Ramon. And Urias hits a ground ball to third base. Diaz will get one at second. The turn from Geloff. Safe. Brown couldn't hold the bag at first. And the Orioles bring in that first run of the game. Urias will be credited with an RBI as the A's can't turn 2 and the O's lead 1-0.
Well, that's the defense you're talking about. And the Athletics down towards the bottom of what should have been probably a double play ball. That's a really good feed, but the throw by Geloff. Backhand ball, still plenty of time. Urias getting down the line, but watch Geloff.
Oakland is challenging the safe call at first base.
Did he stay on the bag or not? That is close. Whether Seth Brown kept his right foot on the bag.
Yeah, Mark Kotsay is going to push the challenge button early. See if there's enough to overturn this call.
Wow, that is close. Hard to tell from that angle.
As it stands, it's a 5-4 fielder's choice and an RBI for Ramon.
Boy, Zach Geloff, the rookie, has not made many mistakes this year. This will not go down as an error, even if it holds up the way it is.
Again, this is the worst defense in the league by about 35 runs in terms of defensive runs saved. That's a Sports Info Solutions metric. Anything you look at, Oakland is near the bottom of the pack defensively.
Yeah, if you look at fielding percentage, .983, that puts them 27th.
So is there enough to overturn the call on the field, which is that Brown was off the bag? And this would be awfully pivotal because the A's, if they don't get the call overturned, would lose their challenge 2 outs into the game.
Yeah, and big for the Orioles too. If you look at the numbers on the year, when the Orioles score first, they are 45-12 on the year.
Nothing we've seen has been definitive. Major League Baseball can stitch multiple angles together at the same time. Again, this is about the best that we have, and you just can't tell if the foot is on the base there or not.
If that's all they have, and I'm sure they may have something else, but if that's all they have, there's no way you overturn
Call on the field
call.
Stands, runner safe.
And there you have it. Todd Tichenor calls it. So the A's are down a challenge after just 2 outs. And the Orioles do get Rutschman in from third. Mountcastle to third. Urias will end up with an RBI on a poor throw by Geloff. And the Orioles score in the first inning for the second time this series. So first and third, 2 down. And here's Cedric Mullins, who had a 2-run double in the first inning on Friday. Mullins hit the first pitch he saw from Francisco Perez over the right fielder Seth Brown's head in that inning. And Mullins is taking the first pitch here.
Said as well has had a nice series, 3 for 9, couple of RBIs. And has hit really well in these situations, runners in score position.
Well, it's been a lot better against fastballs and off-speed pitches this year. Tough season on breaking balls. And he'll get a fastball right there, miss it, 1-1. Cedric up to a .785 on base plus slugging. Again, that's 17% better than league average. That adjusted OPS, that's very good. 10 home runs, 15 steals in 77 games. And there's a breaking ball. That's the best pitch for Sears. Not the sweeper, but the very tight slider is a pitch he's really worked on.
Yeah, and if he can work that sequence, it's going to be money. So it's a fastball in the speed to bat up, and then he just kind of a little breaking ball on the outside part. Tough to cover both of those. Because Sears has got enough on the heater. I mean, he'll bounce it up to 95. It's going to average about 93. Doesn't throw a two-seamer. It's all four-seam fastballs.
Two on, two out. And Mullen strikes out at a fastball. So the inning is over, but the Orioles strike first in the series finale. In Oakland is the slogan for the A's, at least for now. Here at the Oakland Coliseum, hosting athletics baseball for the 56th season. And here is the starting lineup for the Oakland A's. Worst offensive team in baseball, 3.6 runs per game. Got a big boost, though, from Zach Geloff, who's batting second. Some rookies in the lineup: Butler, Geloff, Diaz, and Soderstrom. And they'll face Kyle Bradish in his second year, and one of the best second-year pitchers in the majors this season.
No doubt. 19 of his 22 starts, 3 earned runs or less. That is outstanding, and big differences from last year we'll talk about as this game goes forward.
Lawrence Butler leads off, and Butler takes a strike, darting fastball at 95 from Bradish. Butler 2 for 8, 4 strikeouts in the series. In his 9th career game, he has a hit in 6 of the first 8. That's a changeup early for Kyle Bradish, his least thrown pitch. 4th rounder, New Mexico State, 2018. Second big league season, and what a season it has been. Because of that pitch right there, primarily a beautiful slider, and Bradish strikes out Butler to start the game.
Boy, he can spin it. An outstanding slider, an outstanding breaking ball. This is a good start for Kyle Bradish here. Matter of fact, when you combine the slider and the curveball for Bradish here, this year, opponents are hitting 167 off those 2 breaking balls combined.
And he typically gets off to a brilliant start.
Yeah, he is not like most. I mean, you see a lot of starting pitchers just trying to find their rhythm in the first inning, but Kyle Bradish has been different. Second best in baseball in the first inning.
That's a minimum of 20 first innings. And the slider is even better in the first inning than it is any other, which is also unusual because of how much that can be a field pitch for so many pitchers.
He's always been able to spin it, though. You know, and even when he had his struggles early in the year last year, you always like the breaking balls. The problem for him, I felt like, was that all of his pitches pretty much had the same action. They all kind of went right to left. And when he incorporated that 2-seam fastball about 2/3 of the way through the season last year, it changed everything about Kyle Bradish.
1-1 for Zach Geloff. And Geloff chases another really good slider. The first inning, batters are swinging and missing at 45% of sliders when they do swing, and hitting .043 against the slider. That's in just the first inning. And he'll throw it again, and Geloff will take ball 2. Zach Geloff's had really good plate appearances all series. 3 for 7, 3 walks. His first 30 big league games, slugging .621. 20 extra base hits. And Geloff chases a slider. Kyle Bradish is up to the task right from the start once more.
Boy, and I tell you what, he is spinning it so far today. Watch the depth. Now, this is not the new pitch everybody's throwing a sweeper. This is more of a traditional slider, almost straight down action. It's got a little bit of right to left in it. This is Kyle Bradish's pitch arsenal this year. See that slider? He throws it about 30% of the time. Between the 2 and the 4-seamer, about 44% of the time. Then the curveball and the changeup. But look at the curveball, 144. Slider, 188.
That's the first curveball. Dropped it into Seth Brown. Really good fastball hitter who's 2 for 7 with a double and a couple of RBIs in this series.
Start to compare some numbers on Kyle Bradish. So this is his 23rd start of the year. He made 23 starts last year. The big thing that jumps at me is the opponent's batting average. Opponents hit 265 off of Bradish last year, only 230. So 35 points better this year than last year. Keeping the ball in the ballpark a lot better. 12 homers allowed this year, 17 last year.
Even seeing the first inning numbers, even knowing the slider numbers, boy, it looks particularly good today.
And of course, the overall command of all the pitches better this year. Only 34 walks this year, whereas last year 46 walks in just about the same amount of starts.
Looking to strike out the side in the first, and he will. Wow. Elevated at 97.
Do it, KB, huh? Some really good breaking balls. Then how about 97? He just steps on it to get the Orioles off the field.
Home run richest contestant of the game, Carol Taylor from mighty Goldsboro, Maryland, has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Last chance to be a fast play contestant of the game. Enter your tickets into Mine Lottery Rewards by August 28th, and you could win $50,000. Jordan Westberg wasting no time, drills one right into the glove of Lawrence Butler. The hardest hit ball of the game for the Orioles against J.P. Sears results in an out.
That's what, 3 balls hit well over 100 already.
.110 for Westberg, who has driven in 3 in the series. 1 pitch, 1 out for J.P. Sears. Strike to Ryan McKenna off a 2-hit Saturday night.
Yeah, Mac recalled yesterday, right into action. 2 base hits.
When Ryan's been on the roster, he's been a pretty regular player against lefties. 267 against left-handers this year. Anthony Santander still out for a 2nd straight game, still dealing with some soreness in his back that's flared up. Hoping the off day tomorrow will do him well. And Sears pumps a fastball right to the inside corner for a 2nd strikeout.
Pretty good sequence here. Fastball to start him, then a changeup down and away, and then a heater up and in. Well done. You can see where the catcher Perez is set up right on the inside part, exactly where it's delivered.
.26 pitch first inning, 4 pitches to get 2 outs in the second. Here's Mateo. Jorge still hitless on the trip. He had one of the big moments of the road trip against the Mariners last Sunday as a pinch runner when he scored the tying run and a little weak ground ball back to the pitcher from Adley Rutschman in the 9th, the go-ahead run. And Mateo hits this one high in the air to left field. That ball is headed for the wall, and it is going to be off the wall, off the base of the fence as Butler missed it. Mateo racing to third. He's going to be waved home, and the throw is dropped. Jorge has scored. The cutoff throw was not handled, and Mateo runs all the way home to give the Orioles a 2-0 lead. An electric display from Jorge Mateo.
I mean, he felt like he wasn't even just floating coming around third base. That should go down as an inside the park home run, because he never slowed up coming around second into third. And Tony Mansolino, the third base coach for the Orioles, looked like one of those Mojo Duck decoys, just flapping him and waved him in the whole way. You can see there was a little miscommunication between Butler and Kemp originally on the fly ball.
And it is indeed an inside the park home run for Jorge Mateo.
I mean, he is rolling coming around third. Yeah, Butler in center field and Tony Kemp, look, they were almost like looking at each other for a second, and it cost them.
So Butler with a misplay in center. Allen dropped the ball at short. but Mateo gets an inside the park home run, his 7th home run of the season, and now twice on this road trip. Jorge Mateo has electrified the Orioles with his speed, scoring from third on the play last week and scoring from the batter's box on this fly ball that stayed in the park.
And give Tony Mansolino, the third base coach of the Orioles, give him a lot of credit. He has made some outstanding reads this year and sending runners home from third base on very marginal plays from time to time, but it seemed like it has worked just about every time. There's, of course, a lot of scout reports on arms and when you send guys, when you don't, depending on what the situation is, but Tony Mansolino seems to always make the right decision.
The Orioles' first inside the park home run this season. It comes from Jorge Mateo, who saved his first hit of the road trip for one big moment.
Yeah, making 7 home runs all year. When it kicked right there, you knew we were in for a show, and Jorge Mateo puts on a show. Orioles up 2-0.
And Kyle Bradish covering and smothering the Oakland Bats in the first inning.
Yeah, one of the best in the business in the first inning, and he certainly didn't disappoint. A couple of breaking balls for the first 2 punch outs, and just stepped on 97, a four-seamer right to the top of the zone. And he is working with a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning.
Courtesy of Jorge Mateo's inside the park home run. His first home run since April 30th. Nearly 4 months since Mateo ended that amazing month of April with a home run off Chasen Shreve.
Still trying to catch his breath.
It's a play where he was even slowing up going into second, and he still scored. As this ball is grounded foul by Brent Rooker in the Oakland cleanup spot.
Yeah, Mateo is one of those guys that's just a difference maker on both. I mean, we saw him make a couple of outstanding plays, the bare hand play yesterday on defense. But when he gets on base, he's just a game changer. He upsets the rhythm, the timing, he speeds the defenses up.
Rooker chases a slider, and well, who hasn't for Oakland so far? Bradish has been spinning one mean breaking ball after another.
Yeah, it's early, but I tell you right now, this is the best so far. And that's a mouthful because he's been as good as anybody. You go back his last 11 starts, he has been outstanding.
A's have now swung at 5 sliders, and they have missed all 5 sliders they've swung at. Already 6 swings and misses in the first 17 pitches for Kyle Bradish. Rooker, a 3-hit game on Friday. 3 for 7 in the series. And Rooker is down looking at a fastball near the knees. 4 straight strikeouts for Kyle Bradish.
There's the new pitch, the sinking fastball right to the bottom of the zone. If you're even thinking about breaking ball, he can get 96 right by you, and he does, perfectly painted right at the bottom of the zone, and Rooker caught looking.
Here's Tony Kemp, who is a hard man to strike out. And Kemp takes a first pitch fastball, slicing over the inside at 95. 31-year-old Kemp, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI in the series. Another A who's having a well below average year. Hits for very little power. That curveball skipped all the way out of play over the netting. Whole lot of space for a ball to skip out of play here. Most foul territory of any ballpark by far, the Oakland Coliseum. To the right side, the first ball put in play is a ground out to second from Tony Kemp. Birdland get the biggest bobblehead yet on Saturday. It is Felix Bautista bobblehead day. The Orioles host the Rockies Saturday, August 26th at 7:05. And the first 20,000 fans 15 and up will receive the first Felix Bautista bobblehead. Get your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. 5 in a row retired by Kyle Bradish. Here's Carlos Perez, the Oakland catcher. And Perez, first pitch swinging. This one off the facing of the second deck.
Radish just continues to shove strike one in there.
Against the American League West in his career, 1.93 ERA. The Orioles have won all 5 of his starts against West Division teams. Never started against Oakland until today. 6 innings, 2 runs at Seattle on Sunday. 2-1 to Perez. Should say 5 starts against the West this season, a 1.93. Career, it's a 1.49. 2 earned runs or fewer in all 9 starts against the West. 2-2, fouled back off the mask. Hanley Rutschman checking with Todd Titzner, the plate umpire. Maybe not the mask, might have got him on the shoulder. Todd Titzner, the crew chief, leading Alex Tosi, Emil Jimenez, and Brian Knight, today's crew. 2-2. And he struck him out looking. Kyle Bradish with 5 strikeouts in 2 perfect innings in Oakland. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, helping to make a difference. And by Charm City Circular. The Charm City Circular travels through some of Baltimore's most charming neighborhoods. And best of all, it's free. Feel free to circulate. Visit charmcitycirc.com. Orioles with a run in each of the first 2 innings. And the A's without a base runner in any of the first 2 innings. 2-0 Baltimore. Ryan Mountcastle leads off. Mountcastle, Henderson, and Hayes batting against Oakland lefty J.P. Sears. Orioles with 3 hits and a walk so far against Sears. He's had a decent year, all things considered. 4.27 ERA. Strikeout to walk numbers are very good, but his problem has been the home run ball. He's allowed 27 now, tied for 6th most in the majors coming in. And Mountcastle cracks another ball. This one up the gap in left center. Kemp slides to get it, and Ryan will be held to a sharp single to begin the 3rd, but Mountcastle is 2 for 2.
And that was a nice play by Tony Kemp in left field. He went all the way to the left center field gap, slid, caught it, and got it in to help Mountie. But 111 off the bat, and Ryan Mountcastle continues to stay red hot at the plate for the Orioles. Look at this play. Really nice, all in one motion. Kemp played middle infield in college.
Seen a lot of second base for him in the big leagues, but he's been their most used left fielder this year. Gunnar Henderson, first pitch swinging. That's a fair ball down the left field line in the corner. Mountcastle gets a stop sign at 3rd, and the Orioles are hitting one rocket after another against J.P. Sears. 5 hits now in the first 12 batters, and Henderson's on the board with a double.
That's so good. Lefty on lefty matchup. The only way you hit a good lefty if you're a left-handed hitter is you got to stay on it and you got to stay through it. And Henderson does it right there. Front shoulder stays right on the ball and just mashes it the opposite way down the line. So 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. Orioles already up 2-0.
Gunnar with his 18th double of the year, 43rd extra base hit.
There's your infield in. They will try to cut off Mountcastle at home plate. Here we are back in that situation again. Runner at 3rd base, less than 2 out. Can the Orioles find a way?
Austin Hayes has seen 5 pitches today, none for strikes. Got a strike there and struck it out of play. Those were 8 for 22 runners in scoring position in the first 2 games. A couple of sac flies in there as well. Hayes had an RBI fielder's choice. last night. Score a run. And Hayes cracks this ball off of Sears. It kicks sharply into left field, and that will bring in 2 more. Hayes going into second. He is out there, slamming his left hand on the base. But Austin's got a 2-run single, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead.
Boy, these hits, I'm telling you, these hits are loud. That went off. Did it get off his glove hand, maybe? Right back at JP Sears, just about belt high.
Well, JP Sears tried to wave off the training staff and Mark Kotze, and they will leave the mound mostly acquiescing to his demands. He doesn't even need to throw a warm-up pitch. But another ball hit over 100. That's 105 for Hayes. And Austin Hayes now with 4 RBIs in this 3-game series. That's 6 hits already, and the Orioles have made just 7 outs. And JP Sears, Ben, doesn't give up a lot of hits. He had a string this year of 18 straight starts, allowing 6 hits or fewer, but there hasn't been a cheap hit in the bunch right now.
He is not tricking the Orioles so far.
So Hayes out, 7-4 on the play. Kemp to Geloff. Picks up 2 RBIs for his trouble. There's Ramon Urias, who had an RBI fielder's choice in the first inning. And Ramon's laid on a fastball for strike 2. So for the second time this series, the Orioles score at least 4 in the first 3 innings. They had 5 in the first 3 on Friday night, and they've scored in every inning in this game. Urias, right side, and no play for Seth Brown. Strike 3 with a perfect fastball at the knees.
JP Sears got a good fastball, and it's a low release point, 94 and perfectly done. So he's made some good pitches, but when he's left some balls up out over the plate, the Orioles have found a barrel.
Two down for Cedric. Mullins in the air. That's hit pretty well to right field, but room for Brent Rooker to put him away. 2 more runs, 3 more hits. Hayes the big blow to make it 4-zip. It's Orioles wearable flag day as the O's host the Colorado Rockies at 7:05. First 15,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles wearable flag. Get your tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. Finally, the Orioles will return home after tomorrow's off day. 3-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays to start. 3 of the weekend with Colorado, and then 3 with the Chicago White Sox. Only 3 homestands left in the regular season. They're all big ones at this point. Mid-September, we'll see the Cardinals and Rays come to town for 7. And then the final 6 games of the year, 2 with the Nats, 4 with the Red Sox. Kyle Bradish to Jordan Diaz. And Diaz, the first A to make contact with a slider. All he can do is tip it out of play. Orioles have scored at least 1 run each of the first 3 innings, and Kyle Bradish has retired the first 6 A's in order with 5 strikeouts. Jorge Mateo's home run inside the Parker has helped him. And a little tapper here to third, grabbed by Ramon Urias, who throws out Jordan Diaz 5-3. What makes this slider so tough for opposing batters?
Well, I love that sequence because if you notice, the very first pitch he threw Diaz was that good two-seam fastball around the inside part of the plate. So he established fastball in, then he goes to slider. Now, you've talked about good sliders. Two things happening with Kyle Bradish. One, he can really spin it. So his slider spins just about 2,650 RPMs. That's about 200 RPMs better than most. So it's got a little more break, a little more late action. But where he's starting it right now and where it's ending up is the difference. The command of it is so good so far today. So he's starting it just on the outer third of the right-handers and then working it off the outside part of the plate. If you look at his spin metrics, I mean, he spins the curveball over 2,600 and the slider over 2,600. That's well above average on both of those pitches.
Tyler Soderstrom, the 21-year-old DH, in a 2-0 count. Bradish now 124 innings this year, has allowed 104 hits and has struck out 119.
Hello, New York. This is James in Oakland. I'm there.
Right to the outside corner, 2-2.
Command so much better. I felt like there was times early last year where he just tried to basically take his fastball and throw it over the white part of the plate, but now he's broken that plate into thirds. Inner third, outer third, of course the middle part of the plate. And I love to watch the catcher when he sets up. You know, where does Rutschman set up and how close does Bradish come to hitting the glove? So far today it's been really good. That's kind of how it's been really since the month of April. You go back to the month of April, he pitched to an ERA just above 6, had a couple of rough starts, but since then it's hard to argue that he's not been one of the best in baseball. 2.76 in May, 3.5 in June, 2.25 in July, and a 2.55 ERA coming into this one in the month of August with 3 starts. And another thing to look at too, go back and look at the quality starts. So in last year for Kyle Bradish, 23 starts, he only had 5 quality starts in 23 chances. Already 12 this year in 22 chances. So he's more than doubled his quality starts from last year.
Been a reliable 6-inning plus pitcher. 2-2 here, and that's in the dirt. 7 pitches to Tyler Soderstrom, 1 for 6 in the series with 4 strikeouts. Slow start to the big league career of Soderstrom, who is seen by many to be the A's #1 prospect, just 21 years old. Former first rounder with a bright future. And Soderstrom did just get a piece of that slider to keep the at-bat going.
Just foul tipped. I mean, just a piece of it hits in Rutschman's glove and just kicks out.
That's strike 3 within the webbing. Instead, back to the drawing board on 3-2 again. And this time, Soderstrom strikes out, swinging on a running sinker. Make it 6 of 8 Ks for Kyle Bradish.
Boy, I tell you what, breaking ball. When he steps on 97 like that, good luck. Man, this is impressive.
This is a show. Nick Allen, the last day to hit. Allen right through a dive bomber of a sinker.
There you are, establishing fastball in again. Probably going to see breaking ball away if he holds to what he's been doing.
He held to it.
I mean, there's not a lot of secrets to pitching. The question is, can you go out and can you execute? And that's just using east and west, using both sides of the plate. Sounds simple, very difficult to do at the big league level.
2 strikes on Allen. And Bradish gets him swinging. A ridiculous start to the game for Bradish. 9 up, 9 down with 7 strikeouts.
Good morning, good afternoon, and we'll see you later. Kyle Bradish with another punch out.
They're looking pretty nice right now. Orioles to win on the money line. Orioles ahead after 5 innings. And over 5.5 total runs. Those same game parlay odds plus 154. Well, we've seen 4 runs already, all by the Orioles. And they lead 4-0 after 3 against J.P. Sears. Here's Jordan Westburg. Westberg swings at the first pitch from Sears down the line. That's off the top of the wall. And Jordan Westberg is into second with a double that seemed to hit the fence the moment it hit his bat.
That's coming off the bat. 111, his 9th double of the year. This is loud. I mean, just a line drive. Just didn't have the height to get out, but almost put a hole in the wall down there right at the 330 mark.
This is an absolute laser show right now by the Oriole batters. Westberg with 2 of the 3 hardest hit balls of the day. Now Ryan McKenna. McKenna shows bunt and pulls back. Seven hits for the Orioles in the game. The softest hit was the inside the park home run.
Go figure.
McKenna not bunting this time. Drags a ground ball to Allen, who throws him out.
That ball was struck firm, too.
That was 106. I know we're starting to sound like a broken record, but you have a few balls at 100 off the bat. You feel like you're really doing something. Everything the Orioles are putting in play, it seems, is being absolutely seared. Here's Mateo. Jorge Mateo with an inside the park home run his first time up, his first career inside the park home run. It is the 26th inside the park home run in Baltimore Orioles history. A ground ball to short again. This one a little bit more softly hit. First inside the park home run for an Oriole, by the way, since Trey Mancini did it July 28th of last year. So Westberg still at second, 2 down for Adley Rutschman. Trying to keep alive the Orioles' streak of scoring in every inning today. Adley Rutschman 4 for 9, 3 walks in this series. He has done well in the leadoff spot. Up to 5th in the American League in on base percentage, 2nd in walks. Only Shohei Ohtani, the presumptive American League MVP, has drawn more walks among American League players. Rutschman has now walked 70 times, only struck out 79. A little chopper to third and out of play. 2-2. Let's face it, even if Oakland's pitching staff has struggled, the Orioles deserved a series like this. They needed a series like this with all of the great pitching staffs they've seen recently. San Diego, Seattle, Toronto. Really good staff series after series before this one.
Yeah, the Orioles have done so many things well this year, and the biggest one is they've beaten the teams that they were supposed to beat. They did a really good job against the sub-500 teams of knocking them off. And a chance for a sweep today, and a chance for the first time this year, if they can win, to be 30 games over 500.
Looking for their 8th sweep of the year. On 3-2, Rutschman draws walk number 71, and the Orioles put 2 runners on with 2 outs in the 4th. That's the O's 2nd walk today.
Number 6, Ryan Mountcastle.
And here's Ryan Mountcastle, who's hit 2 scorchers, 104, 111. These are all the hard hit balls today. Everything at 100 or up in terms of the hits, except for Mateo's 99-mile-per-hour home run. But that's why exit velocity matters. You hit the ball harder. Fielders have less time to react. And they've had basically no time to react to the Orioles swings today. And a big rip again by Ryan, who was right on it.
Well, Ryan Mountcastle got J.P. Sears back in Baltimore, went down and got a breaking ball and powered it over the Great Wall of Baltimore. That was on April the 10th. That was a 2-run shot. Adley Rutschman would also have a home run in that game.
I believe he was the first man to drink from the homer hose that day as well. First of 3 in that game. Rutschman and Hayes. Mountcastle, deep left field. This ball is melted. Just when you think the Orioles can't hit it any harder, Ryan Mountcastle goes and obliterates an orb. Way up there in the seats in left center, a 439-foot demolition, and it is 7-zip.
Goodness. That was loud like Gunnar Henderson's 2-run homer back in game 1 of this series. That is 3 balls absolutely crushed by Mountie. This has been a laser show today, and we're only in the 4th inning.
The hardest hit ball of the game right here.
Wow. Perfect balance, no drift forward, head down, staying through the ball. And that one, a Weaver. A 3-run shot, Mountie's 17th long ball of the year. His 60th RBI.
Another $500 for Carol Taylor as well. Our Maryland Lottery Fast Play home run richest contestant. Mountcastle is 3 for 3. The Orioles have scored in all 4 innings against J.P. Sears, who is probably wishing he was anywhere other than here right now. Henderson gets under one into right field, hit pretty well. Rooker's at the wall, and Rooker cannot get it. It's off the top of the wall. It's in play. Gunner's going to go to third base, and he will stop right there. Right off the top of the fence in right field. It is a triple for Gunner, his 6th of the season.
Well, Rooker pushes all the way and leaps it. It hits right on top of the wall. I don't know how that ball stays in the ballpark. Lefty on lefty matchup. Gunnar Henderson keeps getting more and more comfortable. He thought he had it right there.
No home run is under a crew chief review.
And this does not require a challenge. A crew chief can initiate a review on a home run call.
It looked like he hit off the top of the wall. Did it hit behind the wall? It's very rare a ball hits on top of the wall and somehow stays in the ballpark. And Rooker kept going back. That ball kept carrying and pushed Rooker all the way back to the wall.
No, right off the top.
That's a good look at it. Right off the top of the wall and somehow stays in.
And that may be the only break Oakland has caught today. So Gunner's going to have the 6th triple of his 2nd season. Make it a double and a triple in the last 2 innings for Gunnar Henderson.
The call in the field is confirmed. The ball is in play.
So 3 extra base hits for the Orioles this inning. Kyle Gibson with a little extra douse of the sprinkler.
Well, there was a time runs and hits were hard to come by. Matter of fact, coming into this series, the Orioles were only averaging, what, about 3.3 runs per game over their last 9 games. But that has changed as soon as the Orioles got into Oakland.
9 hits, 5 for extra bases in the first 3 2/3. Zach Neal is warming for Oakland. Well, Kyle Bradish is probably sitting in the dugout saying, guys, I've got enough run support already. The A's don't have a base runner. The Orioles have 7 runs. Here's Austin Hayes with 2 down and a runner at third. Henderson. First pitch swing and it's popped up. Playable for Seth Brown. And the inning comes to an end, but the Orioles strike again. Big damage from Big Mountie.
Yeah, Ryan Mountcastle, lean on one, kid. And you talk about a bomb well out over the 362. Orioles up big in this one, 7-0. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
Fourth inning brought to you by our Baltimore area Toyota dealers. For legendary safety and reliability, choose Toyota and let's go places. Every time Kyle Bradish leaves the dugout, the score has changed. 1-0, 2-0, 4-0. Now 7-0 Orioles, and all Kyle Bradish has done is retire every Oakland hitter with 7 strikeouts. So 7-0 in the runs column and 7-0 in the strikeout to hit ratio for Bradish. Lawrence Butler takes a changeup down and out. An electric display of offense, pitching, and base running through the first 3.5 innings for the Orioles, looking for their 8th sweep of the year. They still have not been swept. 2-1 to Lawrence Butler. That ball's cracked foul the other way. It'll be Butler, Geloff, and Brown second time through against Bradish, who struck out all 3 of those hitters in the first inning. He's got 3 strikeouts on the sinker today, which is not usually a big strikeout pitch from 4 on the slider, which is. And that's a high slider to run it full.
I feel like the velo's up a little bit too.
Yeah, it's been up in the second half, and it's certainly been up on the fastballs today. 97.
Well, and that's one plus thing about getting an extra day or 2 when you're on a 6-man rotation, right? A little bit stronger when you come out.
Westberg throws out Butler, and Bradish has the first out in the 4th.
Take a look at through 3 innings, Kyle Bradish's strikeouts. 3 on the slider, 3 on the sinking fastball.
Zach Geloff, one of those slider strikeout victims in the first.
And another thing about Bradish this year versus last year, creating more ground balls. Ground ball rate is up, and that's because that sinking fastball, he is using it more and more.
One of the best ground ball rates in the American League, Kyle Bradish. Geloff bending back on a strike that bent in. Everything changed when Kyle Bradish started throwing the 2-seamer last year. It seems like such an easy point of demarcation, but statistically and visually, it really did change everything for him. Moving positions on the rubber as well. His fastball, which naturally cuts, was going right into the bat path of right-handers. And throwing that 2-seamer, just giving him a shape that he really didn't have.
It just keeps him honest. It keeps hitters honest, especially the right-handed hitters, because he can sink it and throw it to the inside part.
Geloff pops up a high slider, still 1-2.
I mean, you look at Kyle Bradish, this is only his 46th career start in the big leagues. A little over 240 innings of work. So in a lot of ways still learning, but I love the way he's cleaned up his mechanics. He's made some minor adjustments, picks up an extra pitch.
And a base hit by Zach Geloff. The first Oakland base runner comes with 1 out here in the 4th.
Boy, Zach Geloff continues to hit. The rookie came in hitting .302, 8 homers already, 16 RBIs. He picks up the first base hit for the Athletics today.
And the way Kyle Bradish has been throwing today, the A's are probably relieved to just get any kind of hit. retired the first 10 before Geloff extends his on-base streak to 17. And now ball one to Seth Brown. So J.P. Sears is going to be done after 4. For J.P. Sears, 7 earned runs allowed. That will be a season high. And the 9 hits tying a season high allowed by J.P. Sears as well. Not that it will necessarily get much better. Oakland has the worst bullpen in the majors with an ERA of .550 collectively. Bradish is 1-2 to Brown. Yet another day where the Orioles could use a long start. They threw 5 of their 7 relievers yesterday. Strike 3 call. Got a little extra there. Seth Brown not happy with Todd Titzner, and he is making it known as Bradish picks up his 8th strikeout.
Just a little bit off the outside edge, and Adley Rutschman might have stole that one. Oh, Seth Brown, some kind of upset.
If you're in one dugout, you yell and scream. If you're in the other, just turn your head, take it, and walk away. 8 Ks for Bradish. 11 outs recorded. And those 8 strikeouts already just 2 shy of a season high. Rooker up the middle to Westberg, who has been clean in the field today, and Kyle Bradish allows his first base runner, but no runs. Still all O's in Oakland. Orioles game used items from your favorite players, including Gunnar Henderson and Grayson Rodriguez game used jerseys for this weekend's auction. Bidding closes tonight at 10. Proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Bid now at Orioles.com/auction. Happy birthday.
It's my birthday.
And on the left, it's my friend's birthday. Well, there you go. J.P. Sears, not the finest start of his career. 9
Not
hits.
nearly as good as he was when he faced the Orioles back in April, for sure. Orioles a lot allowed base hits, and it's time for Zach Neal. Zach Neal making his 7th appearance, elevated ERA 8 2/3. He's punched out 8 though. Opponents hitting .316 off the right-hander. Neal doesn't have a big fastball. Fastball's right about 90 miles an hour. He'll sink it in a 4-seamer. Cutter, changeup, and curveball as well.
That is a big blooper of a curveball inside to Ramon Urias. Orioles have scored in every inning. Frankly, it's looked like batting practice so far. And Ramon pops this one up. Allen fighting the sun is there, and Ramon's 0 for 3.
Now batting number 31, Central Collins.
So the A's will hope for something out of Neal, as they used 4 relievers yesterday. 3 on Friday. 4 days rest. So Mark Kotsay looking for some long relief. Boy, that curveball, given the speeds of Sears and Bradish pitches, looks like it's coming in at like a position player lobbing the ball speed.
Rarely breaking the speed limit.
And Mullins pokes one right to third, and the Orioles are having trouble with the slow ball. Cedric 0 for 3. Catch Orioles baseball anytime, anywhere on the MASN app. Watch games live, receive expert analysis and player stats in the palm of your hand. Don't miss a pitch. Download the MASN app today. 2 down for Jordan Westberg. And Westberg pops it out. The Orioles off balance in the 5th inning, and they go scoreless in an inning for the first time in the game. Good news is they still lead by 7. Far 8 strikeouts through 4 innings, and here they are, courtesy of StatCast.
8 on that slider, 3 on that sinker, 1 on the changeup. That last one on a 92-mile-an-hour changeup. He's had them all working, and the command has been pinpoint.
Only base runner Zach Geloff with a 4th inning single. 18 balls to just 13 batters. Tony Kemp will lead off for Oakland in the bottom of the 5th inning, followed by Carlos Perez and Jordan Diaz. Tony Kemp's doing a really cool thing this week, by the way. We've all seen the news stories about the horrific wildfires in Maui. So much loss of life, loss of property down there in Hawaii. Tony Kemp has been raising money in relief efforts with some donations. He's been auctioning off some custom cleats, some custom bats. He's got some Nickelodeon themed items, some Hey Arnold cleats, got a rocket power bat. He was a big Nickelodeon kid coming up, so had some items designed. He's auctioning them off. Money is going to folks in the state of Hawaii affected by the wildfires. Pretty cool for Tony Kemp. He's had a nice career, part of a Houston team that won the World Series in 2017. And even on an A's team that's struggling, such a chance to make an impact. Your big league player. 2-2 from Kyle Bradish to him. Kemp a ground out to second base his first time. And sees the breaking ball right through the zone to run it full. Tough guy to strike out. And Kemp will get a piece and foul it off himself.
Bradish hadn't had too many 3-2 counts. Both times he's been 3-2, he's been able to get a breaking ball over. Boy, Kemp got that one right on the inside of his right shin. Oh.
Maybe off the foot, it looked like on that replay.
Or high ankle, one of them, right on the inside.
Tony trying to walk it off. Pretty tough guy, Tony Kemp. One of the smaller players in the big leagues, listed at 5'6", 165. And he's made it through 8 big league seasons.
Yeah, drafted back in 2013, 5th round by the Astros out of Vanderbilt.
As part of that first Vanderbilt team that made the World Series in 2011. And Kemp draws the A's first walk. Leadoff man aboard for the first time. Time for your FanDuel Live same game parlay props. Jorge Mateo with another hit. Adley Rutschman with a home run would get you to the FanDuel payout of plus 1989. Some pretty big odds. If Mateo can get a hit, Adley can go deep. Turn a tidy profit. Ball 1 to Carlos Perez now. Struck out his first time. Bradish has actually been behind more hitters than he's been ahead of today. First pitch strike only to 7 out of 15, but it seems like every time he's behind 1-0, he throws his second pitch strike. His first pitch strike numbers are low, though they are better since the All-Star break. And up and in, he drills Perez.
That looked like that two-seam fastball. Brandon Hyde's going to take a look at it to make sure Perez did not swing at this ball. He starts his swing, but I don't know if the bat head came through or not.
Orioles will not challenge. So first walk, first hit batter for Oakland, 7th hit batter for Bradish this season, and here's Jordan Diaz.
And first little jam of the day for Kyle Bradish. First and second, nobody out.
And another first pitch ball. Pitch counts at 70 already. Here's another good slider, snapped off to the rookie Jordan Diaz. 12th swing and miss by an Oakland hitter in the game. Make it 13th.
Probably what, 3 relievers down for the Orioles today? Probably Perez, Cano, and Webb. I think all 3 of them have thrown back-to-back days.
That's down the line and foul. Nick Vespi should be available, unless there's something we don't know about. Vespi's on 4 days rest. Mike Baumann had the night off after throwing 21 pitches on Friday. Shintaro Fujinami threw 16 pitches yesterday. Felix Bautista threw 9, and he had pitched 4 days before that. So guess that those 4 are available. And a breaking ball grounded to short. This could be just what Kyle Bradish needs, and it is a double play, 6-4-3. The 15th double play turned behind Bradish this year.
About as routine as it gets right there. Kyle Bradish creating a lot more ground balls, and he needed one in that situation and got one. Just a routine 2-hopper over to Mateo, a little flip to Westberg.
Kyle Bradish has now induced 31 double plays in 46 starts, and looks like Tony Kemp is having an issue. Kemp is touching his left eye.
Yeah, he got something in his eye. You can see the trainer with a Q-tip trying to dig whatever that is out of there.
So Tony Kemp fouled a ball off of his ankle and now is having an issue with his eye. All in the same inning. Hopefully his midsection is okay. Starting to feel like a game of operation this inning. Kemp back at third. Here's Tyler Soderstrom. All one out of the last 4 batters in the inning for Bradish. And a 9-pitch battle with Soderstrom in the third. Finally struck him out in a sinker. 2-0 here. Urias way off of Kemp at third. He's taking a mighty big lead down the line. Saw another steal at home yesterday, by the way. Elvis Andrus did it for the White Sox on a pickoff throw to first. Orioles saw it with Fernando Tatis Jr. the other day. I don't think down 7-0 Tony Kemp's going to attempt it, but Not often you see 2 steals of home in the same week.
Well, and when you get in these situations where the third basemen are swung over playing shortstop, it allows the runner at third base to get just about as big a lead as he wants. That's what happened with that situation in San Diego. Left-handed batter at the plate. Shift was on. Tatis, who can really, really run. And then you get a left-handed pitcher in CNL Perez on the mound that really can't see what's going on over at third base. Tatis had like a 30-foot lead. He just had to go 60 feet.
Might as well take an even bigger lead. Down 7-0. Tony's just going to hang out there, and this ball grounded to second. Nicely picked by Westberg, who got in a lot of pregame infield work and has handled second base smoothly today. 5 shutout innings for Kyle Bradish. Here's the inside the park home run hitter Mateo. Also grounded out to short. Mateo, former member of the A's organization. That ball to first is caught by Brown. It's a double play. Tumbling into the bag for 2 outs.
Now that is one heck of a play right there by Seth Brown. Holding the runner on at first base, he bounces off. You'll see him just take a quick bounce off the bag. Has to go right back towards the line and nabs this ball. And then with his glove, he touched first base, doubling off McKenna with his glove. Well done, Seth Brown.
No trouble with that one in the sun. 2 down for Adley. Orioles scored 17 runs the first 6 games of the road trip, and they ended up splitting them. And they've got 23, as Ben just mentioned, this 3-game series alone. That's the Seattle pitching staff that may be the best in baseball. San Diego was 5th in ERA.
Yeah, those San Diego starters, what, number 2 in baseball for starters. I mean, Orioles have faced some really good pitching staffs as of late. And you got Toronto coming in town next. And boy, I tell you what, those matchups, Grayson Rodriguez scheduled to go in game 1 against Yusei Kikuchi. Then Flaherty versus Gausman in game 2. And if it holds up, Dean Kramer versus Jose Barrios in game 3.
Blue Jays team that is right in the thick of the wild card picture. They have not been playing great baseball of late. To get the win yesterday, they're 8 back in the East. Rutschman bounces out, and Neal faces the minimum in the 6th. See if Kyle Bradish can put up another donut. Ryan Mountcastle provided another Miller Lite moment.
Yeah, 2 for 2 to that point right there. And that one swing, a 3-run shot. Ryan Mountcastle has now reached base in 26 games, and over those 26 games, hitting .396.
The sweet waters of the home run hose. A little Frank the Tank shuffle. Everything's coming up Mountie right now. 17 RBIs in 7 games against the A's this season. It's almost like he thinks we're in Canada the way he hits the Oakland A's.
Well, he's got the Blue Jays coming in town. Hits the Blue Jays pretty well too.
Imagine being a member of the Blue Jays staff. You can't figure out how to get Ryan Mountcastle, and now he's going to come into the series at a 26-game on-base streak. Maybe just throw up 4 fingers. First pitch was a ball. The next one grounded into the hole by Nick Allen, and Mateo will not even attempt to throw. It's an infield hit for the Oakland shortstop, Allen.
Yeah, Urias had the only chance on this play. Once he got over his glove, Mateo just decides to stick it in his back pocket. Nick Allen, an above-average runner.
Allen now 2 for 10 in the series. A's have their second hit off Kyle Bradish, who will face the top of the Oakland order now for a 3rd time. Lawrence Butler showing bunt, which would not seem likely in a 7-0 game.
Yeah, Bradish hit 81 pitches. Love to get him through 6. Looks like Nick Vespe's going to get up in that Oriole bullpen, start moving around a little bit.
And Nick nearly had a foul ball headed in his direction. Ryan McKenna will retrieve it down the right field line. Could be a lot of Nick Vespe today on 4 days rest, the only Oriole reliever on multiple days of rest. Butler, left field. Hit well, but not well enough. And Butler is 0 for 3. Kyle Bradish made it through 6 innings his last start. He went 4 2/3 the one before that. Had some command issues against the Mets. Previous 7, he went 6 innings or more every time. So 8 out of 9 starts, Bradish has thrown at least 6 innings. And he is 2 outs away from making it 9 for 10. First career start against the A's. It has been a dandy. Geloff back-to-back swings and misses, 0-2. 15th and 16th whiffs induced by Kyle Bradish today. Nice pick by Rutschman. Kyle Bradish just a couple of innings shy of qualifying for the ERA lead in the American League coming into today. He will be able to qualify after this start. Came into the game in a spot where he would have been 5th. And at this rate, Kyle Bradish will likely enter the top 5 in the American League in ERA after this game.
Just consistency is what it is. If he can finish this inning, that will be 8 quality starts in his last 10 starts.
Geloff takes the curveball, 3-2. There's the aforementioned Nick Vespe. Bradish is 1 swinging strike away, by the way, from tying a career high 17 whiffs. And Geloff will put this one in play to left. Well hit, but tracked down by Austin Hayes. Up near the warning track for out number 2.
Yeah, one of the few bad breaking balls. That one hung right up in the heart of the plate. Unfortunately for Bradish and the Orioles, right to Austin Hayes, a few steps to his right. His breaking ball's not down, it's not away, it's pretty much right in the heart of the plate. And that's the one you feel fortunate you get that one back.
Right in front of the racing A's legends. That's a tough play. It's even tougher when Dennis Eckersley's giant head is staring at you, I think. So 2 down for Seth Brown. 2 of the 8 strikeouts for Bradish today have come against Brown. Bradish looking to get through another game without allowing a home run. He's given up 2 in 1 game this year, 0 or 1 every other start. And Brown sends a high fly ball into center. Cedric Mullins camped, drifting, and makes the catch. 3 flyouts in the inning. The first 3 flyouts in the game for Bradish, who gets through 6 scoreless.
Make a difference. difference as we take a look at the American League. I love being on the West Coast, guys, because we already know how things have panned out. Seattle squeaks one over the Astros 7-6 down in Houston. Boston sweeps the Yankees with a 6-5 win in the Bronx. A huge advancement for them. It further plants the Bombers down at the bottom of the American League East. And I know yesterday I told you I love close games and seeing how this one turns out, but so far things are all Orioles as of now, guys. Looking for the sweep here today. We will break this one down afterwards on O's Extra Postgame presented by PNC.
That was a great scoreboard up there. We got to see the manual scoreboards out in left center and right center here at the Coliseum. See some of the American League East scores. Yankees, as Mel said, swept. The Yankees continue their plunge into last place in the American League East. They are 60-64. On pace for their first losing record in decades. You know, for a while, the American League East looked like it was going to be a historic division. Best winning percentage in a division, a divisional era. Everybody above 500, but Yankees just completely fallen apart. Orioles will not see the Yankees again this year. They won the season series 7-6. And Zach Neal thought he had strike 3 on Ryan Mountcastle. Have to do a little more work on Mountie, who's 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer. And that's golfed out of play by Ryan. Gunnar Henderson with a double and a triple on deck, then Austin Hayes. Neal has done well to stabilize the game with 2 scoreless innings, facing the minimum. He ties up Mountcastle with a sinker for strike 3. For a strikeout in relief for Zach Neal.
Yeah, below average velocity, but above average movement for Zach Neal. Watch this two-seam fastball run. Starts it right on the inner third. A lot of left to right in this pitch.
Gunnar Henderson down the right field line, and it's off the top of the pole. Ding dong, it's another Orioles home run off the pole.
Boy, and Henderson now a double, a triple, a homer, only a single away from the cycle. His 21st long ball of the year, his 60th RBI, and that was another rocket off the kid's bat.
Gunnar Henderson ties Anthony Santander for the Oriole home run lead and makes it 8-0 Baltimore. The Orioles' 3rd home run of the game here from Henderson.
How quick are these hands, huh? Had plenty of distance. The only question, could he keep it fair or not?
Austin Hayes with a pop-up that will get out of play. Well, he's got the 3 hardest parts out of the way now. Sliced a double the other way against a lefty, J.P. Sears, in the 3rd. Tripled off the top of the wall against Sears in the 4th, and now homers off the top of the pole against Neal in the 7th. And now the Orioles need 2 more base runners so Gunnar can have a chance at the Orioles' 2nd cycle of the year.
2 homers by the Orioles off the foul pole this series. Don't see that very often.
Here's the guy on the other one. Austin Hayes, who hit it into the foul pole and fouls away, strike 2. Every night with Gunnar Henderson, every night, every day, every game, there's the possibility of something that takes your breath away.
It's getting to where you don't want to miss his at-bats, or in the field for that matter.
Down to 3rd from Hayes, who is retired for the 2nd time.
Now batting number 29, Ramon Orioles.
We get to see Gunnar Henderson every game. We get to see him do his thing every day. For a baseball fan, he's starting to feel like one of those guys you just have to watch. If you're scrolling through MLB TV and Gunnar Henderson's coming up, Urias knocks it out of play. He really is turning into must-see TV every night.
Well, when we talk to the visiting or the home broadcasters, that's the first name that comes up is Gunnar Henderson's name. They talk about his defense, of course, talk about the bat, the ability to play second or shortstop and third base at a very high level. And has certainly positioned himself right at the top of the American League rookie voting.
He's the betting favorite right now, and he's certainly playing like it. That ball is flared over the shortstop, Allen. Ramon Urias waiting back as long as he could. A little slow pitch softball single, and Ramon is on the board with his first hit.
Well, he hit it like Neil threw it, right?
Sometimes it's in hard, out harder. This was in slow,
in soft and out soft, right off the end of the bat. Orioles in double-digit hits yet again.
Cedric Mullins' first pitch punched into center field, and Butler's not going to get there in time. So Urias' first hit is followed by Mullins' first hit. And the only two Orioles not to reach base safely in the lineup reach base on consecutive pitches. This is the Orioles' third three-hit inning of the game, and now they're up to a dozen hits.
Well, game one of this series, every starter had a base hit. And just Ryan McKenna. He'll get a chance as he sits in the on-deck circle.
And those hits guarantee, by the way, that Gunnar Henderson will get one more at-bat in this game to try and pick up a single and complete the cycle. Jordan Westburg with a double. 1-1. And it will be Nick Vespi at this point. 8-run lead. Kyle Bradish is going to come out of this game with Vespi very deliberately warming up in right field. And it'd be nice if Nick Vespi can give the Orioles 2, maybe even the final 3 innings of this game on a lot of rest. Because if the Orioles could avoid using all of their top relievers today and have a day off tomorrow, their bullpen would finally be in good shape heading into a crucial series with Toronto. Westburg right side. That ball will get down and get into the alley to bring in another run. Westburg with a wide turnaround first, retreats with an RBI single, scoring Urias, shooting Mullins down to third, and expanding this ever expanding Oriole lead to 9.
Two-out magic by the Orioles. Single by Urias, single by Mullins, RBI single by Westburg. Boy, he continues to hit. I know the numbers weren't great in San Diego, but I felt like he swung it really well. Hit some balls hard right to some folks, and now he is really starting to go. 2 for 4 day today, a double and a single.
3 straight games with an RBI2 for Westy, who had the sacrifice fly yesterday. A couple of RBIs on Friday, and hard to remember it's only his 40th big league game. Jordan Westburg. McKenna with a drive in a deep center field. Butler measures it and collects it. But 2 more runs on 4 more hits for the O's in the 7th.
Yeah, the first one came on Gunnar Henderson's 21st long ball of the year. It is all Orioles, folks. 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, what a day it's been in Oakland, California. The weather spectacular, the baseball even better. Kyle Bradish, a phenomenal afternoon, has done 6 shutout innings, and Nick Vespi will come in with a big old 9-0 lead. Vespi to face Brent Rooker, who puts his first pitch out of play. And for Kyle Bradish today, Ben, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, all 8 strikeouts in the first 4 innings.
Yeah.
One of his best starts this season.
Dominant. Punched out the first 3 he saw. Punched out 5 of the first 6 that he faced. Ended up with 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Gave up 2 hits. They both harmless singles. and make it now 8 quality starts in his last 10. In line to win his 8th game of the year.
Orioles bring Ryan O'Hearn into the game, who has not started either of the last 2. He's in right field, so Austin Hayes gets off his feet for the last few innings. Ryan McKenna goes from right to left. And Nick Vespian pitching on 4 days rest. Hopefully can give the Orioles at least 2 innings here. But Brent Rooker is going to greet him rudely with a blast down the line, and fair and gone. So the first batter after Kyle Bradish leaves the game, Brent Rooker deposits his 20th home run into the upper deck and puts the A's on the board.
Yeah, the A's lone all-star this year, Brent Rooker. A fabulous month of April. 9 home runs. That one 108 off the bat. 391 feet right down the left field line in the second deck. Looked like a cutter trying to get on the inside part. Brent Rooker gets those hands in tight, and a no-doubter to put the A's on the scoreboard. Pretty good catch out in left field, too, in the second take.
So number 20 for Rooker. And Esteury Ruiz pinch hits for Tony Kemp, who will end his day 0 for 1 with a walk. Two strikes on the rookie Ruiz. Kyle Bradish came into the game with an ERA of 3.18. And after 6 shutout innings, it's down to 3.03. Now, depending on what the rest of the American League has done, Kyle Bradish may be in the American League ERA lead. Garrett Cole was at 3.03 coming into the day. Ruiz sharply to second. Been a steady day in the field for Jordan Westburg.
Yeah, that was a tough chance right there. That ball hit hard, kind of handcuffed him, but got his body right in front of it. Tony Mansolino continues to work this infield. We see it every day, and they were out early day. No batting practice for either team today, which is not uncommon on a Sunday day game. But the infielders were busy.
What do you like about the way that Tony Mansolino works with the Orioles infielders?
Well,
because not folks don't get to see what we do get to see.
I mean, it's pretty common to go out and take ground balls for every game, but I love the way he works the intensity of it, you know. And he told us, he said, we got past the month of April and it wasn't great defensively. Realized we had to do a little bit more work, and he started to really challenge them well before the game. And this goes on 2 or 3 hours before the game, laterally, like really game type situations of hitting balls hard to their left and to their right and making them make the above average plays. In trying to simulate game speed, it's one thing to take a ground ball before the game, but it's another to take it at game speed. And I think that's what Tony Mansolino has done with this infield really since about the month of May. He talked about that Kansas City series, and that's when it really began. And he got them all together and said, you know what, I'm going to start challenging you guys in practice a little bit more than what we have so far. And it's paid off.
There's Tony, the Orioles' third base and infield coach. 1-2 to Carlos Perez. Another interesting component to this infield this season. Tony Mansolino said this is the first normal spring training we really had in a while. We had to deal with a lockout last year with COVID issues still in 21. Obviously 2020 was pushed back significantly. And he said, I don't think I was maybe as intense and progressive as I could have been with infield defense in spring training, but they are there now. And if you're going to err on one side, probably better to ease in a little bit and be playing your best defense near the end of the season than to burn yourself out early. And that's what he feels like they're doing.
Yeah, it's a fine line you walk, right? I mean, this season, 162 games, and you count spring training, it's a marathon season. So you got to know when to work a little bit more, when to shut down a little bit, depending on how everybody's feeling. And it's not every day the entire infield comes out, right? I mean, it's 2 or 3, maybe 4 different guys a day that will come out and get a lot of work in. A really good pitch, little slider down and in by Vespi to get rid of Perez.
First strikeout for Vespi, 9th for the Orioles. 2 down, Jordan Diaz down to 3rd, and Nick Vespi works around that leadoff home run to get through the inning otherwise unscathed. It's 9-1 for Tony Mansolino and the Birds. The A's World Series champions all the way back to the Philadelphia, Kansas City days. This historic franchise, which was established in 1901 as the Philadelphia Athletics, moved to Kansas City in 1954. And then in the mid-60s here to Oakland, and maybe only for a couple of years longer. They will be playing at the Coliseum next year, then their lease extends. They've announced their intention to go to Las Vegas. Jorge Mateo knocks one out of play against Zach Neal. One of the charter franchises in the American League, 1901. A's have won the most American League titles of any team besides the Yankees. Great history here, and with this franchise, wherever they end up next. Last World Series win, 1989. The Bash brothers, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Ricky Henderson, Dennis Eckersley, Tony La Russa. A lot of star power on those A's teams, and I know you faced some of them.
Yeah, those late 80s, early 90s. Harold Baines was in that lineup. Corny Lansford, Gallego. Had some superstars.
Franchise that is on the way back. They have fallen on hard times, 34-89. A's will be officially eliminated from the American League West with a loss today on August 20th. Mateo socks one the other way, slicing into right center field. Jorge Mateo will have extra bases again. A double to add to his inside the park home run. And Mateo starts the sprinkler with a 2-for-4 game.
Boy, this is a good sign for the Orioles too. Jorge Mateo get going, because Orioles going to be facing some left-handers coming up. Face at least one in the Toronto series. Colorado maybe going to face 2 left-handers in that series. And when he starts hitting the ball, and that's what made Mateo special in the month of April right there, the ability to drive the ball to the opposite field. He was staying on the ball, staying through it. And he got a little bit of a funk, started getting out in front, started rolling over a lot of balls.
First 2 hits the road trip for Jorge. And the Rutschman with a hit, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Orioles 9 runs, 14 hits in the game, 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs, including Gunnar Henderson, who is in the hole and who is just a single away from hitting for the cycle. He should get a chance this inning unless there's a base running out. Zach Neal eating a lot of pitches in long relief. It's his 53rd, and it's a good-looking changeup, 2-2. Top 3 hitters in the Oriole lineup have scored 2 runs each. 6 Orioles with a run, 6 with an RBI. Everyone's reached base. And Rutschman cracks a ground ball in between Allen and Geloff. Adley Rutschman with another multi-hit game. Jorge Mateo jogs on home, and the Orioles are into double digits.
Orioles have now scored in 6 of their 8 innings. And just a routine ground ball, a little changeup on the outside part of the plate, and Rutschman just hooks it in the hole. And there's not much of a hole there, but hits it hard enough to get it through. Mateo easily scores.
Adley Rutschman's first RBI of the game. He becomes the 7th Oriole with an RBI today. Now 9 different Orioles in the series have driven in a run, including Mountcastle, who's knocked in 5. And the Orioles 26 runs now in this 3-game series. Looking to win the season series 6-1 over Oakland.
"26 runs in this series, only 30 runs the previous 9 games coming into this series.
Two singles and a 3-run home run for Ryan Mountcastle, who's in a 3-1 count. Mountcastle's knocked in 17 in 7 games against the A's this year, including 9 in 1 game, 3 more today. And Ryan cracks a ball foul. Right into the Oakland bullpen, where Francisco Perez is warming up.
Mounties last time up, Neal got him on that sinking fastball. Started on the inner third and ran it well off the plate. Looks like they're going to try to go right back in there again.
Ryan gets to it. Ground ball down to Diaz. High throw is just barely in time at first.
Boy, Mountcastle, he's tricky. A lot like O'Hearn, he can get down the line, and he almost picked up a base hit right there.
It's Jonah Bride, by the way, who came into the game for Seth Brown to play first base this inning. Ruiz stayed in to play left after batting for Kemp. And here is Gunnar Henderson, a single from the cycle. 3 extra base hits today, and Henderson tied up on strike 1. Time for today's Indeed player resume. Gunnar Henderson had a 5-game hit streak coming in. It's now at 6 with 5 extra base hits. Looking to become the 2nd Oriole to hit for the cycle this year. And Henderson is down at an 0-2 count. Cedric Mullins did it against the Pirates May the 12th. Finished that off with a home run. Austin Hayes did it a year ago. Brooks Robinson, Cal Ripken Jr., Aubrey Huff, Felix P.A., Jonathan VR, Hayes, and Mullins. It's one of these baseball oddities. It might not be as exciting as this cycle, but if Gunnar gets another extra base hit, he'd have 4 of those, which is even rarer than the cycle, I'd have to think. Still 0-2. Henderson now with 99 hits on the season. 45 for extra bases. Another 0-2. Henderson able to hold his fire.
Now you think Henderson knows he's a single away?
Got to, right?
I think so.
You think the dugout told him, or do you think he just
No, I
knows?
think he just knows.
Question is he trying to hit for a single?
No.
He probably would tell you no, right? And that's his approach.
No, he's swinging to do damage, big damage.
Right side, that's a fair ball inside the line. And you know what? Gunnar Henderson is not going to stop at first. Who needs a cycle when you can pick up your 4th extra base hit of the game? The Orioles bench is saying you should have stopped at first, but Gunnar has a double-double with a triple and a home run, a 4 extra base hit game, and he makes it 11-1 with a sheepish grin on his face.
19th double of the year and another rocket off the bat of Gunnar Henderson. And skipper Brandon Hyde's laughing too. The whole bench is wanting to put the brakes on at first base. But he is wound tight. There is no way he is stopping at first base. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, the Orioles contingent in Oakland, the fans behind the first base dugout that are chanting Gunnar's name. So even if it's not a cycle, it's a day with even more total bases than that. A's will go back to the bullpen in this romp. Authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. No cycle for Gunnar Henderson, at least not yet. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. A ridiculous afternoon for this ridiculous young player. And the Orioles bludgeoning the A's as Ryan O'Hearn bats for the first time against the new pitcher, Francisco Perez. Perez was the opener on Friday, and it did not go very well for him. 1 inning, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Orioles have scored now 27 runs in this 3-game series. 1-2 for O'Hearn, who took over for Austin Hayes in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he'll look to become the 10th Oriole to reach base. O'Hearn was able to hold up just barely. Four extra base hits for Henderson today. Mountcastle with a home run. Westberg with a double. Mateo with 2 extra base hits. 8 for the O's as a team. And O'Hearn goes down swinging for out number 2.
Francisco Perez. Good fastball from the left side, 93 miles an hour, right to the top of the zone. Orioles had how many extra base hits in game 1? 7 or 8 in game 1 too. They have had a ton of extra base hits in this game, or this series rather.
Seven and 2 homers yesterday, so 17 extra base hits in the 3-game series. Henderson, the last of it, running right by first. Pretty funny to see the Oriole dugout razz Gunnar Henderson for taking an extra base too. But there's maybe nobody who plays harder on this team than Gunnar, on a team of guys that play hard. There was 0 chance he was going to stop at first. You know what? He's 22. He's probably going to get a few more chances to hit for the cycle. Urias a base hit his last time, had an RBI in the 1st inning to open the scoring. Orioles have now scored in 6 of their 8 innings today. 11 runs for the O's. They're in double figures for the 11th time this year. Most since August 4th against the Mets, when they put up 10, or the first time in double figures since August 4th. First time scoring at least 11 since August 1st when they put up 13 in Toronto. And there's time yet. Three-2 to Arias. Right center field. How about another one? A two-hit game for Ramon Arias. Gunnar Henderson, come on down. Make it an even dozen for the O's.
Boy, it started off hot for the Orioles, and it continues to be hot. Let's see if the boys give him a hard time in the dugout. He's hearing about it a little bit.
He ran out of high fives at the end. Cedric Mullins with a soft sweeping swing to short. Well, you know what? He'd be due up 6th in the 9th. He may have another shot. Orioles get 3 more. Moment doesn't get much more mayhemy than an inside the park home run.
Yeah, right off the wall. This was in the 2nd inning, and all the way from home plate back to home plate. He even checked up coming around first base. Inside the park home run. Mateo's 7th homer of the year, his 32nd RBI. He would add a double a few at-bats later.
So Nick Vespi with a 12-1 lead after getting through the 7th inning. And it will probably be Nick Vespi's game the rest of the way if he can do it. See if the Orioles can get through here with only one reliever used. They've won 76 games this year. Very few of them have looked like this. The Orioles with 2 13-run wins and a 10-run win. Not a lot of blowouts this season, but with their 6-man rotation and shortened bullpen, it'll be a heck of a good time for it. Tyler Soderstrom 0 for 2, and Soderstrom flares the ball into left. That's Ryan McKenna, and that is the first out. Well, the Orioles have tomorrow off. Then they return home to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all night games. Don't miss the action at Camden Yards. Great seats available at Orioles.com/tickets. Jays won 10-3 in Cincinnati today, so they'll come in with a 2-game win streak at 69 and 56. And Toronto in the thick of the American League wild card hunt right now. Tampa Bay's in first in the wild card, then Houston. And the Blue Jays a half game behind Seattle. Red hot Seattle, which is now won 6 in a row.
Seattle and the Red Sox coming on. Seattle won today. Beat Houston today, didn't they?
They did, 7-6. Nick Allen back to Nick Vespi, who fields his position. Well, what did Julio Rodriguez do today is the question, because Julio came in with 17 hits in the last 4 games, which is a major league record. And that was more than the Yankees had as a team in their last 4 games, just for context. Mariners are now only a half game behind Houston for second in the American League West. And that makes the Orioles series win look even better.
Well, with the pitching staff they have, if that offense can give them just an average or a little bit above average offense, look out for Seattle.
Julio, by the way, was a mere 1 for 5 today. Dominic Canzona had 4 hits for the Mariners. Emerson Hancock, their starter, lasted just 2 innings, got hurt. They gave up 5 runs in the 3rd, all from Taylor Saucedo, and then 6 Mariner relievers combined to shut out the Astros in the final 7 innings. What a win that is, and a sweep for Seattle in Houston. There's the American League West. Oakland well at the bottom. And Lawrence Butler grounds out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Nick Vespi. We'll see if Gunnar Henderson can get one more shot at the cycle coming up. Next group outing, from clients to colleagues, sports teams, schools, family and friends. Orioles group tickets offer a wide variety of seating and pricing options to fit any group need. Visit Orioles.com/groups for more information. 12-1 is the Oriole lead. They've scored in 6 innings in this game. So to keep it going, against Francisco Perez. Faces Jordan Westburg, Ryan McKenna, and Jorge Mateo. The Orioles need 3 base runners in this inning for Gunnar Henderson to have a second shot at the cycle. He has 4 extra base hits after doubling in the 8th. And 0-2 for Westburg.
There's Shintaro Fujinami. Looks like he's going to have the 9th.
I mean, Brandon Hyde has wanted to get Fujinami into low pressure situations. Not many have existed since Fujinami's come to the Orioles. This one certainly exists. Westburg just got a piece. JP Sears lasted 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs earned, walked 2, struck out 4. Zach Neal in relief, 3 1/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 1. Home runs from Mateo inside the park, Mountcastle and Henderson out of it. And the Orioles with 17 hits, 3 walks in the game. Runners in scoring position, the O's are 6 for 14. Westburg down swinging, and Jordan will end his game in all likelihood 2 for 5 with a double and an RBI.
Yeah, really good day for Jordan Westburg. Love where he's hitting the ball using the backside. Pretty good breaking ball right there by Perez, though.
Ryan McKenna has walked. He is the only Orioles starter without a hit, though. "17 hits for the Orioles. That's tied for their 2nd most in a game this season. Season high of 20 at the Yankees July the 6th. This is the 3rd time the Orioles have collected 17 in one game. Henderson leading the way with 4. Mountcastle with 3. Rutschman, Urias, Westburg, and Mateo all with 2. So 6 multi-hit Orioles today. "20 hits, which is, or 17 hits, which adds up now to 42 in the series for the Orioles, with 16 in the opener, 9 yesterday. So a 2 for Ryan. Three outs away from a sweep, which would be their 8th of the year. 3 outs away from a 6-3 road trip. And you take 6-3 on a West Coast road trip, especially with the way Seattle's playing, and then with the San Diego pitchers the Orioles had to face. Back-to-back strikeouts for Perez, who keeps McKenna hitless.
The shortstop, number 3, Jorge Mateo.
Yeah, make it the 3rd strikeout too, Perez, since he's coming in. That breaking ball has been really, really good for him. He starts in the zone and just bends it down. Yeah, and 3 outs away from being 30 games over 500 for the first time this year too. That is a big number.
Will be 77-47 with a win. Rays were off today, so the Orioles will pick up a half game. And with the win, they will move 3 games ahead of Tampa Bay. That would tie the season high in the American League East. It'll be 3 games up with 38 to go. One more series with the Rays coming later on down the line. I would just mark your calendars now. September 14th through the 17th. That's a Thursday through a Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Could be the division on the line. Orioles have Toronto starting on Tuesday. One more series with them. They go to Boston September 8th, and then Boston comes to Baltimore September 28th. So 4 division series remaining. That's a pop-up from Mateo. So Gunnar Henderson not going to get his chance to complete the cycle as that ball sticks in the glove of Geloff. But take a win. 3 more outs for a sweep in Oakland. I don't really know what to say about this.
Hey, just hang on to your feathers.
Yeah.
How about that?
A few unexpected visitors turning their backs on Shintaro Fujinami here in the ninth.
Yeah, now it's time for your Jiffy Lube pitching change. Nick Vespi was good. Gave a solo home run to Brent Rooker, the first batter he faced, and that was it. You know Jiffy Lube for his quick, convenient oil changes. Now we do services for brakes, batteries, and tires. Oil changes and more. Now that's a job for Jiffy. Those final 3 outs are up to Shintaro Fujinami now. Good opportunity for him to work on a few things. The fastball continues to be really good for Fujinami. High velocity fastball average. Obviously, it'll tick up to 101, 99 to 101. He's been hurt his last couple times out with split finger fastballs that just kind of sit in the middle part of the zone and don't do a whole lot. Now, when he throws the good one, it's swing and miss. But he is searching for some consistency out of that pitch, and a wonderful opportunity for him to work on that pitch a little bit here.
99 to Zach Geloff. So you'd like to see a little depth to the splitter here?
Yes, I think this is a grand opportunity for him, obviously with a big lead, to maybe throw a few more splitters than what he would normally do, just to see if he can get some consistency out of it.
That was the cutter to Zach Geloff for strike 2. Fujinami yesterday gave up a home run to Aledmys Diaz. Got to fly out 2 strikeouts otherwise. Facing 2-3-4 here in the Oakland ninth. The A's only run came in the 7th. Brent Rooker homered. Orioles have scored in 6 innings in this game. Kyle Bradish brilliant. 6 shutout innings, 2 hits, a walk, struck out 8. Nick Vespi 2 innings, a hit, an earned run, and a strikeout. And now Fujinami to send the Orioles home victorious. And that was the splitter, and it did not end up close.
And that's the difficult thing about relievers. When you're struggling with one of your better pitches, you don't really have an opportunity to work on it in between, because you're outings, because you never know when you're going to be in a ball game. Other than just playing catch with it before the game, trying to get a feel for it.
Hot shot to second. Deflects off the glove of Westberg. And Geloff will hold up at first with his 2nd single. Stream every Out of Market game live or on demand. Now available at a new low price for the season, starting at $59.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, Gunnar Henderson DHing today has 4 extra base hits. He's the first Oriole to do that since Melvin Mora, August 17th, 2008. 4 extra base hits, which is 1 off of the major league record, by the way, and it ties the Oriole record for most extra base hits in a single game. Saw this from our friend Sarah Langs. Gunnar Henderson is now the youngest player in Orioles history with 4 extra base hits in a game. Cal Ripken Jr., no surprise, is the previous youngest, 23 years old in September 1983. Gunnar does it at 22. And one more. Gunnar Henderson is a 4th Orioles rookie with at least 11 total bases in a game. Ryan Mountcastle, Chris Richard, Nick Markakis, and Gunnar and Chris Richard, the only Oriole rookies with 4 extra base hits in 1 game. An astonishing afternoon for this astounding young player. 1-2 for Jonah Bride's first at bat of the game. replaced Seth Brown in the 8th inning after Brown went 0 for 3. Two from Fuji. Can I give you one more Gunner fun fact?
Give me one
on the
more.
Subject? Since 1901, 12th youngest player with 4 extra base hits in a game, and the youngest player to do so since then 22-year-old Miguel Cabrera of the Florida Marlins in 2005. That's a list that includes Miggy twice, Mel Ott twice, and Joe DiMaggio. Ground ball to short. Mateo, Westberg, Mountcastle, a double play. And the Orioles are 1 out away from a sweep.
Second double play of the day for the Orioles. Make it 109 of them on the year. Top 10 in baseball. Oh, routine 2-hopper Mateo. That is a quick shovel, and Westberg getting better and better at rolling it over at second base.
Brent Rooker, who has the only Oakland RBI with a home run, puts the first pitch up in the air and out of play. The Orioles, with a win, would surpass Atlanta for the best road record in baseball, 41-24. But they can go sleep in their own beds for the next 10 days. Those Jays after an off day. Tuesday night, 7 Eastern. Mass 2. Yeah, we're talking Blue Jays. You know you're going to see Ryan Mountcastle, who just went 11 for 13 when the Orioles took the series in Toronto in early August. Was winning 3 of 4 in their last series with the Jays. There's a cutter for a strike, and the Orioles are 1 strike away. Shintaro Fujinami pitching against his old team for a 2nd straight day. And the Orioles fans will make their presence heard here at the Oakland Coliseum. A 1-2. And Rooker could not hold up. He swung, he strikes out, and the Orioles sweep away the Oakland A's behind a historic performance from Gunnar Henderson.
Well, what a game. What a game all the way around for the Orioles. Tight pitching. Kyle Bradish, another quality start. Vespi was good. Shintaro Fujinami finished it off offensively. One of the best series of the year for the Orioles. I mean, a combined 28 runs on 42 hits. The Orioles get 14 base hits in this series with runners in scoring position, and 5 or 6 different Orioles multiple base hits in this one.
Jorge Mateo had an inside the park home run and a double. Henderson 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Ryan Mountcastle had 3 hits, drove in 3. Superlatives all the way down, and here's a superlative for you, Ben. The first time this season the Orioles get to 30 games over 500.
Well, we saw Gunnar Henderson walk around before the game barefooted. I just kind of wonder now if that's going to become a normal thing for him to walk around barefooted on the infield a little bit and on the grass, because anytime you pick up 4 extra base hits, you might as well keep doing the same things you were doing.
People say it grounds you when you put your bare feet on the green grass. Henderson with extra base hits in his last 4 at-bats. He ties the Oriole record with 4 extra base hits in a game. Kyle Bradish, you mentioned, was dazzling. It was the kind of game where it looked like he had no-hit stuff for a while, and he only gave up 2 in 6 innings. So the Orioles finish the road trip 6-3. They get to 77-47, and they match a season high now with a 3-game lead over Tampa Bay in the American League East. The best just keep getting better for the O's, and Gunnar Henderson is down with Mel.
Yeah, they absolutely do, Kevin. Gunnar, did you know you were a single from the cycle when you ultimately ran through to get that 8th inning double?
Yeah, I did. I thought about it, but at the same time, I was like, if it's meant to be, I'm going to hit a true single, and I felt like, I don't know, I guess looking back, you could stop, but that's just the way I play, is just keep going. So.
Did you hear any grief from the guys about it?
Yeah, the only one that said they agreed with me was Tony. So, yeah.
All right, now take me through this. Ben just mentioned it as well. We saw you and a couple guys. You're walking out on the field earlier barefoot. Are you practicing grounding? Is this a new ritual? What's going on?
Well, we were actually coming out here to take a picture, and then I looked down at my feet, and it looked like they hadn't seen the sun in a while. So I was like, might as well just touch grass for a little bit. So yeah, took a few steps, but yeah, I was actually talking to Mac about that. So.
Okay, so we're going to keep doing that.
Maybe, if it keeps having days like this.
There we go. I like it. Well, Kyle Bradish comes out for you guys today. The first 2 times through the order, strikes out 8. Have you seen him better than today?
No, that was awesome. It seemed like he was getting ahead, and then his breaking stuff was the way he wanted it today, and it was really special, and looking forward to seeing him carry that on.
8th sweep. You're 30 games above 500. You've had 32 days in first place. Where do you guys keep finding this motivation to just come out here and dominate?
It just feels like it's the way we play and just the way we go about each and every day. And I feel like being in that mentality, each and every guy in the clubhouse has the same, we want to win. And I feel like doing that each and every day is in the position we're in right now.
Well, that's a great position to be in. You go enjoy this. You got an off day tomorrow. Your feet can get some sun and hopefully some more hits as well, Gunnar. Congrats.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, we've got a big one coming up on O's Extra postgame. We'll take a look at Gunnar's day at the plate. We'll also look back at Kyle Bradish. A dazzling start for him this afternoon. The Orioles, a sweep of the A's to wrap up their West Coast trip. Don't go anywhere. O's Extra postgame presented by PNC is coming up next.